Hey guys, Fire Flurry here. I do apologize that I'm so late on making this video. I'm not even going to try to cover it up. I'm sorry, I'm taking my hat off. But Pokemon Go came out. It came out and it pretty much consumed my life. Okay, it didn't consume my life, but I have been spending a lot of my downtime playing Pokemon. And this is actually my Draw My Life video. Well, ish. Turns out I can draw worse shit. So there's that, and I apologize. I'm trying to find out where the camera is on this thing. Okay, see the camera, it's just looking at that while looking at my face and my screen. It's really hard to do, so I apologize for that. So instead of drawing my life, I'm going to talk about me. And pretty much just like any other drawn to life or draw my life, it's pretty much just tell you about me. I'm 24 years old, February 8th. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. Lived there till I was 5. Moved up here with my family, well, with my mom and my 2 older brothers at the time, to escape my dad. My mom had been married 4 times. She has 4 sons, different dad for different sons, but whatever. And we were trying to get away from him because he was a criminal, and she didn't want none of that. And he followed that. It was really hard for me to fit in as a kid because I had the southern accent. It was really, really strong, and it was really hard for other kids to understand me, and it was hard for me to understand other kids, especially up here in the north. So it was really, really hard. And that was pretty much it. I played Pokemon since pretty much the beginning. I was a huge reader. Actually, my first book was Alice in Wonderland, because what would happen was, because I was still too young to go to school, apparently, according to my mom, I would sneak into my older brother's backpacks and read their books. But what had happened was my dad had followed us up here to Utah, where I currently live, and he wanted to hunt her down and do horrible, nasty things to her, but whatever. Okay, well, not whatever, but you know what I mean. And so he actually ended up landing himself in the state prison, and he had filed for visitation rights, and he somehow won them. And so once a week, sometimes twice a week, a police officer would take me down to Provo. It's about a 2-hour drive from my house to go and see my dad for an hour. Won't go into the horrific events that happened during that, but yeah, I tried to take one of my older brother's books in with me, and they wouldn't let me. And the police officer heard that I didn't own any books, but I really liked to read, so she actually bought me a copy of Alice in Wonderland. We're actually still friends to this day, which is really amazing. And that went on, the visitations went on for a few months. I think in like 9 months this happened. And it was honestly like horrific. It was traumatizing for me. I couldn't even be in a locked, a fenced-in area without having panic attacks and crying my eyes out. And one visit down there, it became so bad and so terrifying for me. This was before cars had, child safety locks. And so what had happened was I had unbuckled my seatbelt in the back of the car, and I tried to jump out of a moving vehicle on the freeway because I did not want to go see my dad. And that was my first suicide attempt, because I would rather die than go and be in a prison with my dad. And I was 5 years old at that time. After that, I think it was my first grade year, I think. Kindergarten, first grade. I actually made it my first best friend over Pokemon. It was really funny because we both thought this girl was really cool. We wanted her to be our friend, and we couldn't share her. But then we found out we both liked Pokemon, and that immediately made like everything better, apparently. So we would play Pokemon like imaginary, like all the time. We'd play it on the Game Boys. We played the TCG. It was so fun. And now that Go is out, I'm excited to see what adventures we can have then. And yeah, that was pretty much. Oh, sorry, I had just gotten a text message, and I'm trying to get rid of it. Sorry, I actually have a new phone now, which is really, really nice, because now I should probably be able to make more videos for you. Well, like this. Alright, sorry, I don't know why she keeps messaging me. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much. So that had happened we stayed friends till about like high school, like my sophomore, junior year of high school, and then we just sort of stopped talking to each other till like April of this year. Like we saw each other like every now and again and talked every now and again, but it was like nothing big. And we're gonna skip a few years to when I was 13. Now, me and my family, we had never gotten along. My dad had raped my mom, and she got pregnant with me, and she didn't put me up for adoption because I was her burden to bear. And so her and the rest of my family would bully me and say really nasty things about me to my face. So that was really hard. And around 13, I decided to run away. I pulled what I like to call a Riley because I remember what life was back in Louisiana, how it was fun and how it was better. Surprising, I actually had that good of a memory at 13. And I had actually ran away back to Louisiana, and I did make it. Unfortunately, Hurricane Katrina hit, and I was stuck in Katrina for quite some time. I actually had a house, actually okay, now it's legally my house because it was my grandparents' house, but after my dad died, I had inherited the house, but the house had fallen on top of me and crushed me from the waist down, and I actually had lost my left leg. It was broken in far too many places for it to heal properly. And so what they had to do is they had to scoop out the bones in my leg and replace them with metal rods and pretty much a robotic leg on the inside. So I have a prosthetic left leg, and most of my hip on the left side is metal because of the incident. Obviously, I am a survivor. I did survive Katrina. I'm surprised I survived as many things as I did because, like I said before, I do have depression, and I actually attempted suicide at least once a day, every day, and from like the first time I had attempted suicide all the way up till I was about 16, and I tried everything: poison, hanging, starvation. I've stabbed myself, you name it, I've tried it, and obviously, here I am. So I do understand what depression and anxiety is like, and there's that. We're going to skip. I'm a college graduate, actually, at 24. I have 3 degrees. I have one in psychology, criminology, and theater. Single again. That's kind of okay. I mean, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So I do work in pharmaceutical. I test the products in medicine to make sure that they are exactly what's on the box and make sure they are safe for human consumption. So my job is kind of serious, at least in my point of view. And I also work for a not-for-profit organization where we raise money for schools and hospitals. You can actually, I don't know how it works, but I read one of our news articles that we have on our Facebook page that if you put in like our code or something on like Amazon or something, 10% of your purchase goes to our not-for-profit, so we can, give it to a hospital or like Primary Children's or something like that. So that's really cool. So I'm going to try to shop on Amazon once I figure that out, because I really like what I do. And besides that, I actually am a freelance professional cosplayer where people can hire me to come to work events, birthday parties, stuff like that. I do Jack Sparrow, I do Iron Man, I do a whole bunch of different superheroes, I do some original characters. It's really fun. I do love what I do. And when I'm not doing that, I visit my grandmother, she was not technically my real grandmother, but she's close, as good as. But she became a widow back in October, so to keep her company after work, I go and visit her just about every day for a couple of hours. We'll watch a movie or something, and we'll talk or whatever. We'll have dinner, and that's pretty much my life. I mean, I play Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Kingdom Hearts is a huge part of my life. I've been doing martial arts for a few years now. That's pretty fun. So yeah, I think that's really it about me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I apologize for the poor quality, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. You guys have a good day.